Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you why having a low CRS score doesn't really matter. You guys are still gonna get your PR visa even if your CRS score is very low. And I'm gonna show you the proof later in this video. Second, I'm gonna tell you what really matters more than CRS score. Finally, I'm gonna tell you the actions or steps that you need to take in order to become a permanent resident of Canada. My name is Zid. Let's get started. Before we move on guys, I'm gonna ask you a few questions later in this video. Can you please comment down your answers below so that we can help you improve your application? Alright guys, so it doesn't really matter if your CRS score is very low. There are hundreds, even thousands of applicants who are getting their nominations and permanent resident visas even if their scores are very low. The truth is, Canada is actually much more interested on people who can solve its major problem. And what the problem is none other than labor shortage. Let me repeat it again. So Canada is more interested on applicants who can fix its major problem, which is labor shortage. So what that means guys is that there's a lot of jobs out here in Canada, but there's not enough people who has the right skill set to perform the job. In other words, more open jobs available, but less skilled workforce. Now you guys might be thinking, what does labor shortage mean for you as a job seeker? Well, it means more opportunity for employment in Canada. As simple as it is, but that is the truth. You know, the opportunity is there and it's real, and it's just a matter of how you as a potential immigrant can solve this problem of labor shortage in Canada. And if you're able to fix this problem, then definitely that is your gateway to becoming a permanent resident of Canada. Now you guys might be asking, what actions or steps should I be taking right now in order to fix the labor shortage in Canada? Well, that's what this video is all about. But before we move on to the actual discussion of the solutions, I'm just gonna show you guys a proof about applicants getting nominations even if their CRS score is very low. And also I'm gonna show you the rising current problem of labor shortage here in Canada. Before we move on guys, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate all of the support. First of all, let's discuss the new immigration pilot programs. We have the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, we have the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program, we have the Regional Immigration Pilot Program, and there's a lot more other programs coming up in the next few weeks or few months. And the very reason guys why Canada is creating these new programs is to address the labor shortage problem in Canada. And if you guys notice, they have all one thing in common, and that is they want people, they eagerly want people who has the right skill set to perform the job and fill in the labor shortage problem in Canada. And also guys, you'll notice that these pilot programs require job offers because they are badly in need of people. They are in need of resources to fill in those vacancies here in Canada. I mean, they tried finding those skill sets here anywhere in Canada, but they are having a hard time. That's why they need the help of people outside of Canada, including you as a potential immigrant. That's why it's very important guys for you to have a very powerful resume, which I will discuss with you later in this video. Alright guys, so I know you've discussed this before in the previous video, but I just want to run through and explain to you guys quickly that getting a provincial nomination has nothing to do with your CRS score. For example, over here, this guy has a CRS score of 376, which is very low, but still was able to manage to get his provincial nomination and eventually will get his Canadian permanent resident visa. So it's more about your occupation and how you can solve Canada's labor shortage problem. So if your NOC code guys is really high in demand, then chances are you are gonna get your provincial nomination. Now if you guys move on to our second applicant who has a CRS score of 375, you will see that this guy was still able to manage to get a provincial nomination despite having a very low CRS score of 375. That's because of his occupation, which is NOC code 4212, which has the same NOC code as our first applicant, which suggests that Alberta really is in need of people or resources to fill in this occupation, which in turn helps Canada's labor shortage problem. The same is true with our third applicant, who was a CRS score of 408 and still able to manage to get a provincial nomination, as well as our fourth applicant, who has a very low CRS score of 311 but still was able to manage to get a provincial nomination. Now let me guys show you the proof about Canada's labor shortage problem. So these are what the news are saying. We have from Inside Halton, it says the bigger issue is a labor shortage in Canada. Now BDC says that 39% of small and medium-sized businesses are already having difficulty finding new workers. Labor shortages are holding Canadian businesses back, and they are most serious in Atlantic Canada, British Columbia, and Ontario. The sectors facing the strongest headwinds include manufacturing, retail trade, and construction. Now, Toronto Sun said that Ontario businesses are facing labor shortages. So businesses in Ontario are facing shortages in both skilled and unskilled labor. In fact, the CFIB Ontario Director of Provincial Affairs said that it's just really hard to find skilled labor. There's some federal solutions, there's some provincial solutions, but we like the direction that the current government is taking because number one, they recognize it's a problem. And from CTV News, we have experts saying Canada is in the midst of a skilled labor shortage and it's limiting the growth of businesses. And then they said that skilled trade workers such as welders, mechanics, electricians have been among the top 5 hardest roles to fill in Canada for the last 10 years. Sales representatives, drivers, engineers, and technicians are also on the list. Now at this point guys, it must be clear to you that there is a labor shortage problem here in Canada. Fortunately guys, there are steps and actions that you can take in order to address this problem of Canada, which is your very key to becoming a permanent resident of Canada. First of all, you can study programs or learn a skill that is highly in demand in Canada. If you guys have children, you can mold their future to become future Canadian citizens by allowing them to enroll in programs that will get them the jobs that are in demand in Canada. Now let me show you guys those high demand jobs, and let's start off with Alberta. Alright guys, so this is one of the most exciting section of this video. So I'm gonna show you exactly the high demand jobs, moderately high demand jobs, and low demand jobs in Alberta from this link. So guys, these jobs are based on a certain period of time, and based on what they're telling here, these 6 high demand occupations met the threshold for 7 or more variables, meaning there is a significant likelihood that these occupations will be in high demand in the next 3 years. So they are talking about these 6 high demand NOC codes over here, which I'm going to dictate with you guys one by one. So the first one is 0621, which is retail and wholesale trade managers. The second one is 1224, that's property administrators. 6211, retail sales supervisors. 6311, which are the food service supervisors. 6411, which are the sales and account representatives, wholesale trade non-technical, and of course the 9411, which are the machine operators, mineral and metal processing. By the way guys, if your NOC codes are not on this category, then don't despair, because there are also moderately high demand jobs we can find right here. So we have 0731, which are managers in transportation, 0811, 1215, and so on and so forth. So the list guys continues until the low demand jobs, which can be found right here. So these are the low demand jobs. We have 0011 legislators, 0012 senior government managers and officials, 0013, 0014, and so on and so forth. And guys, the source of this information is actually from the government of Alberta. So if you have any any questions or you want more information, then definitely you can contact lfs.analyst@gov.ab.ca. Now, another very interesting website that I would like to endorse you guys is the alice.alberta.ca, which is again from the government of Alberta. So on this page, you will see all of the occupations in demand, including the high demand NOC codes and jobs. So let's start off with retail and wholesale trade managers. That's NOC 0621. We have retail sales supervisors, NOC 6211. Information systems analysts and consultants, NOC 2171, and so on and so forth. And guys, you will also see the list of people that are employed on certain NOC codes. So in this case, for example, NOC 6211, there is about 30,900 people employed under this NOC code in Alberta. On the other hand, for NOC 2171, they have about 18,700 people employed under this NOC code. Now, this might look a little bit different from the previous one that I've discussed. And what's important here is that you can see all of the high demand jobs in Canada for both of these websites. So simply browse through this website, guys. And if you have, again, any question, you can always contact the Alberta Support Center at 1-877-644-9992, which is a toll-free number. On the other hand, you can also browse through any of these links over here if you need more information about the jobs in Alberta. The second thing you can do is to improve your resume. Alright guys, so one of the most important thing when applying for a Canadian job is to have a very, very powerful resume, because again, the resume is your key to getting a job interview and eventually landing a Canadian job. But no worries guys, because I have created a video that will help you improve your resume. So if you can just go to my channel and then under videos, you will see this video over here entitled 5 Resume Mistakes You Didn't Know You Made. So this video, I have already done the research guys. It's only for you to implement these strategies. Remember that having a powerful resume is a key to getting a job offer in Canada. You guys know your resume is your key to getting a Canadian job, and as a result, you're helping Canada solve its labor shortage problem. Sending a poor resume over and over and over again simply wastes your time, your energy, and most importantly guys, your opportunity to become a Canadian permanent resident. Third thing you can do is to attend programs and agencies focusing on employment for newcomers and immigrants like you. I'm going to show you guys how right now. Alright, so one of the most important links that I will be sharing with you guys is from the bdc.ca. So in this page, you will see all of the organization and programs that help newcomers and immigrants land a job in Canada. Of course, the first one we have is from the IRCC, which is Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, followed by the Immigrant Employment Councils and Networks, which can be found in Canada's major urban centers, and then followed by the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, which is the AIPP. So if you get a job from in the Atlantic region, such as Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador, you will get a chance to become a permanent resident in the Atlantic region. And then we have the Immigrant Services Association of Nova Scotia, which is the ISANS. So ISANS helps immigrant job seekers connect with employers in Nova Scotia through an online recruitment tool. The organization supports and coaches newcomers to Canada during the hiring process. ISANS also has a database of employers that have recently hired immigrant job seekers and helps immigrants seeking work to connect with these companies. So this information right here guys is very important for you. And then we also have the interconnection from Quebec, which is a program operated in partnership with Employ Quebec that helps connect employers and qualified newcomers through free pairing activities. And then of course we have the employer engagement of Manitoba, and so on and so forth. So guys, simply go to this link and you will find all of the information for this. Now the fourth thing you can do is to acquire the right skill sets that Canadian employers are looking for. Alright, so for example guys, you are applying for a .NET programmer here in Toronto, Ontario, and these are all of the qualifications. And as you can see, it's not enough to just be proficient in your main skill, which is C# .NET framework. What I mean by acquiring more skills is for you to be able to acquire all of other skill sets that they're looking for, which are database programming such as SQL, Oracle PL SQL, XML, JSON, JavaScript, Ajax, jQuery, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, as well as AngularJS. So specifically here in Canada, guys, those who are invited for interview are mostly those who have all of the skill sets that the company is looking for. So it is important to also tailor our life or our profile to get these particular skill sets. Alright, so it's time to give you guys the questions that you have been waiting for. So guys, can you please type down your answers in the comment section below? So the first question is, what is your NOC code and also your occupation? So for example, in my case, I am 2174 and occupation is computer programmer. The second question is, which jobs have you applied and what is the status of your application? So for example, I haven't applied my application yet, or application submitted, you are in the follow-up stage, first interview stage, second interview stage, or job offer. And then the last question, which is the third question, is which immigration stream have you applied? What is the status of your application? So for example, I have just applied under the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program, and I haven't received my notification of interest, or you already received your notification of interest. Now before we end this video, guys, I just want to give you a final note from Dan Kelly, who is the president of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, which is the CFIB. So he said that economic immigration has always been the lifeblood of Canada's economic success and has played a key role in the building of our great nation. While our immigration system has many goals, employers have a priority to ensure that immigrants of all skill levels are able to come to Canada for jobs where they struggle to find Canadians to fill them. I'm confident we can get there. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write down in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos about Express Entry, you can try going through these videos right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Good luck.